Street addresses, we know them all, we use them all on a daily basis, they're pervasive. Yet, they must die. And I'll tell you why. And it's going to be counterintuitive because we all know that if we say 39 Green Street Peran, we're going to find that. Well, I know one guy who had trouble with that today. I'm not sure if he actually made it. But interestingly, you know that for something that's been around and we know so well, they weren't always around. When communities were small and people sort of knew their way around, there was no need for street addresses, and people could just say, I'll meet you at the Golden Apple, or can you drop this delivery at the Blue Jacket? And it wasn't until communities got a bit bigger and cities got bigger that people needed something a bit more structured. And that's early 16th century, 1512, in Paris, that the first street addresses as we know them started appearing. An area, a name of a street, some kind of numbering system. And it's really good at defining a location of a property or a building. And you can use it for delivering mail. So if that's been around for 500 years and we're using it on a daily basis, surely it's a good thing. Well, as it turns out, 21st century behaviors and requirements mean that you're just not cutting it anymore. Let's take one example. I type in One Convention Centre Place, Melbourne, in Google, and pop, drops a pin right smack bang in the middle of the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre. Well, depending on what we actually want to do there, that may not be good enough. If I want to plan my trip with public transport, I want to know how to get to the Spencer Street entrance. If I'm driving my own car and I'm typing it in the sat-nav, I want to find the car park entrance. But if I'm a delivery driver, I want to find the loading dock. And if I'm ordering my Uber, I want it to come to the taxi stand, which is around the back. So getting all these people to define what they want to do, where they want to do it, with one convention centre place is just not enough. And that's just in cities. Imagine going outside. There was a very classic, very tragic case a couple of years ago of a teenage boy in the Blue Mountains in New South Wales who was on a bushwalk, got lost, but he had his mobile phone. What's more, he was on a hill, so he had coverage. So he rang 000, I'm lost, it's getting dark, please come and help me. And the operator said, where's your nearest cross street? Now you laugh, because it is ironic. Unfortunately, this little lad, 17 years old, died of exposure and thirst because couldn't tell the emergency services where he was. Less dramatic, but still quite unfortunate. Driving on a country road, your car breaks down, you call the RACV, roadside assistance, come and find me. Where are you, sir, madam? Oh, I think I took the 3rd or 4th exit on the highway and went north on the dirt road for about 20 kilometers. What are your chances of being found and someone come and pick you up? And that's in our countries, in our world, right? According to the UN, 75% of countries do not have proper addressing systems. And that includes countries like Dubai. That means people there have trouble getting a mortgage, have trouble getting their parcels delivered, having trouble registering to vote. Look at this. This is Google Maps of a part in the world. This is one of the most densely populated areas in the world. It's actually Rio de Janeiro, and this is what it looks like in reality. Hundreds of thousands of people live here. Amazingly, many of those hundreds of thousands have significant disposable incomes. They want to go and shop online, buy new shoes, sneakers. They can't have them delivered because they have no street address. And even if there are, like in our world, proper addressing, it's often frustrating and costly, as we've just seen. Even in our backyard here, Ballarat, Wendouree has 2 lake streets. Believe it or not. Can you imagine the havoc? You got a blocked sewer, your toilet's overflowing, you're calling the emergency plumber, come to 12 Lake Street, Wendouree. Please? And they end up in the wrong one. Not to mention missed mail, missed delivery, etc. And If you want to communicate where you are and where you want something delivered, where you want people to find something on beaches, in ports, in parks, come and check out this new pop-up food truck. Where is it? Well, 400 meters sort of near the tree. What we really need is something better than street addresses. Something that allows us to talk unambiguously, accurately, simply about a location and communicate that with each other. Well, in a way we have that, right? I can say, come and meet me at -37 8270716, that's south, or 144957416 east. GPS coordinates. Right, problem solved. Well, not so much. That's great if you've got a data stream and integrated one machine to machine talking. But if you're in distress and you've just seen someone bleeding on the road and you're talking to the telephone operator, the ambulance operator, and say, bring us an ambulance here, and he doesn't understand you or she doesn't understand you all that well, mixes up two coordinates or two digits, 50 kilometers down the road suddenly. Until 3 or 4 years ago, however, there was no other way of doing this. And then a bunch of Brits started up a company in London called What 3 Words. And What 3 Words enables us to start doing that, start talking about location precisely, accurately, unambiguously, by allocating 3 unique word combinations to every spot, every location on the planet. How do they do that? Well, they created this virtual grid of 3 by 3 meter squares and covered the whole planet with it. Cities, oceans, desert, mountains, all covered by 3 by 3 meter squares, 57 trillion of them. And instead of numbering them, they gave each of those a unique 3-word combination. The pavement outside of my house is table, chair, spoon. And if I use that combination, table, chair, spoon, it refers to exactly that 3 by 3 meter square. Then they created the software, the apps, the websites, APIs with 3 simple methods to convert the 3 words to coordinates, put them on a map, and vice versa. And suddenly, now, we, as human beings, have a way to communicate very simply, accurately, locations. And I can put it in a text message, I can put it in an email, I can send someone a link, I can call someone up and say, meet me at table, chair, spoon. And there are many, many languages. So I can use 3 words, 3 English words, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, Arabic, Swahili, Mongolian, you name it, German. So when I'm traveling abroad, I can still refer to that specific location in English, but I can use German or another language instead. Now, is this just some fancy idea, a bunch of academics coming up with something cool? Well, no. Mongolia has already adopted 3-word addressing as its official postal addressing system. So no more follow the river, go over the hill, it's the 3rd yurt on your left, but put 3 words on your parcel and the Mongolian postal system will know how to deliver it and deliver it correctly. Parcels are being delivered now in the Middle East, in the favelas, in the townships in South Africa, and soon to be in Australia, well, using 3-word addresses. In fact, 170 countries are already using 3-word addresses. Festivals, Glastonbury Festival. No more find me in the mud. But I'm here, my tent is here, come and find me here. Or I need some medical assistance. So addresses, as we know them, must get out of the way. Must get out of the way so the world can be a better place, because we can now talk easily about every part of it and depict every part of it. So that we can now text our friends and say, come meet us at this fantastic sunset spot at the Taj Mahal for a picnic. It means that if I'm walking on top of Table Mountain and I break my ankle, I can call for help and say, come and send an ambulance or a helicopter to Clicker's Critic Freshness. And it means that if I live in the favelas, I can buy a pair of sneakers and have it delivered to me, thanks to the fact that we've now moved on from street addresses. Thank you very much.